Yeah, man. I'm here for another discussion. Right now, we're going to talk about something that I thought about, and I said, you know what? This is something that actually needs to get discussed. Now, I don't have any special guest today. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to save it for the next episode, but I said, forget it. This really needs to get talked about. So I'm just going to go ahead and just talk about it, you know. So forget waiting for another episode. We going into this right now. Now, I usually like to have a female as like a guest, because I always like to give a female's perspective. And a lot of times, if I'm coming from a male's point of view or perspective, I like to have a female to like support the female's opinions and their points of views too, because I try to be fair, you know. So I just wanted to put that out there because I don't want anyone thinking that I'm biased, sexist, or anything like that. Because people are quick to think that if you are having a gender discussion and you aren't giving the other gender a voice, you know. So just wanted to get that out there, let everybody know that I try to be as fair as possible, look at things from all perspectives, and you know, I'm not a sexist, basically. Now that we got that out the way, all right, let's get into it. My thing today that I want to discuss is African females, not African American females, African females who just so happen to live in America. So, you know, I just say African because yeah, they're African, but they live in America. I guess it's kind of like African American, but you know what I mean. Born and raised in America, you know, and naturally speak the English language. Like, that's African American to me. And African is, you know, your family came from Africa, you were born in Africa and came over here, and now you live in America, you know. So we're talking about that type of African women whose parents or grandparents originate from the continent Africa and came over here later on in their life, whereas though they didn't grow up necessarily in an American culture. Yeah, so I want to discuss that because I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of African women, you know, throughout my life, you know, and it's very interesting, I think. Like the African females I've met, you know, you had some good conversations and stuff like that. First, let me say, African women are by far some of the most attractive women out there. Like there's some very attractive women from Africa. I definitely want to put that out there, you know. So I don't want to sound like I'm down talking, you know, African women in any way, you know. But hey, the name is Take Real for a reason. I gotta keep it real on my opinions, you know. Yeah, definitely have very attractive females, African females, definitely. Having said that, like, I don't know, like, it's how can I put it, man? Like, try to be, you know, I try to get my point across without trying to be like offensive or anything. But alright, let me just be real. Like, most African females I've met, it's just, I don't understand, because like, it's almost like a bitterness. Like, it's like, what is it like? They like upset. Like, what is it like? They mad at African men, black African American men. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, for instance, every African female I've met, pretty much, it's like the same routine. Like, the same routine. It's like, you know, you can start off with an alright little conversation sometimes, but most of the time, the vibe that you get is just so negative. Like, whoa, like, I thought African American females had something going on, but African women, like, I don't understand. And I'm not speaking for all, because of course I haven't met you guys, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, you might hear some coughs. Of course I haven't met not even a fraction of the African women, you know, in America. But the ones that I've met, and I've met a number, probably more than your average black man, you know, that lives an average life that isn't around, like, you know, like besides like college or something where it's like a whole bunch of African people, like for the most part, I think I've met more than the average black man as far as African females. And like the attitudes, just I don't understand. And I wanted to post this up because I want to get some feedback. Like I want people to share with me. Like I must be missing something, because I look at it like this. Like I had a discussion with one African female that I've met, and I was telling her like, yeah, I mean like you from Africa, but I'm black. Excuse me, I'm black African American, so it's like we still like the same. Like my ancestors originate from Africa like yours do, so we all originally from Africa. It's just that we grew up on different continents. And she was like, what you mean? Like I don't get it. Like what you saying? Like I'm like, what you mean? Like it sounds pretty self-explanatory to me, and it seemed to me it's almost as if she was to say, how dare you say that? Like what? Like what you mean? Like black African American, hello Africans, all African, like we all originate from Africa. This is not, we all know, this is not our land. This is not even this is not white America's land or black America's land. We all know that, so we don't need to go into that. We don't even need to get into all that, but we all know that, you know. And I'm just like, yeah, you know, it's like, you know, we all come from the same. And I was telling her like, I just don't understand why like it's segregated. Like why do, and it's usually, I don't know, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know not one person, not one black African American that has a problem with Africans, besides the fact that they don't understand why Africans seem bitter towards us, like towards black African Americans. Like that's the only problem I know that black African Americans have with Africans. Like, why are you bitter? You know, like, man, I just don't understand. Like, it's one African lady, you know, nice young lady, you know. I had a class I was taking, a math class, and I needed excuse me, I needed a little tutoring to sharpen my math. I wanted to make sure I aced those exams. Got an A, by the way. And you know, so I went to the tutor lab to you know, get some assistance, get some help, so I could be ready for those exams. And my tutor was an African lady, and you know, like she was cool, because I mean she knew our math, she helped out and stuff. But like when I sat there listening to her talk, and I'm like, you know, I observed the way that she reacted to the African co-workers and students and people that came around versus the Americans. Like, so it was like when I talked to her, it was a different vibe, a different everything. When the Africans talked to her, it was like, we understand each other, we're one, we're united. And when I talked to her, it was like I was like a peasant. Like that's how I really feel. And like she had made me mad one day. Like I was about to lean on her, because she was saying, like, she was having a discussion. You know, I'm a friendly person, I'm a social person. And you know, we sitting there, you know, I'm sitting there trying to, you know, she telling me this how you do it, da da da. I'm like, okay. So and she's having a discussion with amongst her African co-workers and friends or whatever. And you know, I said, I don't remember what it was, but I said something, but I said it in a joking way. I said something and laughed, and she was like, yeah, do your work, mind your business. Like, what? Like, who you think you're talking to? Like, she ain't laughed. Like, she had a straight face, like she was serious. And I was like, you can't be serious. And I was like, wow. And that's just one little small example. Like, I worked with an African girl before. This was years ago. I was a teenager. And like, her attitude was like, wow, like, you know, just to sit and have a conversation with us, like, her whole attitude, yeah, face frowned up, don't talk to me, like, leave me alone, you know. And I just didn't understand. It was only one person that she, like, always smiled and talked to, was another guy. He wasn't even African. This light-skinned dude with long braids or whatever. You know how some females are about that. And he was the only one. Everybody else was like, wow, she got a nasty attitude. The females, the guys, everybody. And I was like, wow, like every time I meet an African woman, I met an African woman recently. That's the one I was telling you about when I was saying we all originally from Africa. And she was like, I don't get it. And I was like, you know, 1 second it's like, oh yeah, she cool, she wanna, you know, talk and get to know each other. The next second it's like this nasty attitude. And it's like, you Americans don't understand. You do not understand me. I'm like, I'm trying to understand you. Give me a break. And it's like just the nasty attitude just comes, and I'm like, wow, it happened so many times that I had to get addressed. I had to address it, and I'm addressing it now, like, cause I don't understand. Like, we're all black. Like, it don't matter if you're a Jamaican, and I ain't never had no problems with no Jamaicans. Let's just put that out there. But like, regardless if you're Jamaican or whatever, African, Nigerian, like, it don't matter. Black, African American, you're still black at the end of the day, you know. And a racist person will look at you the same regardless. Black is black to them. Black is black to them. They don't care like what your accent sounds like, and they don't care what continent you come from or what country you come from. Black is black. We all black. Like, so what's the need to have the bitter taste towards one another? And that's the same thing if a black African American was to act like that towards an African or Jamaican. Like, wow, like, what difference do it make? We all black. We all got the same skin color. You know, some a little darker than others, but I know black African Americans are darker than some Jamaicans, so it's all the same. And we all still Negroes at the end of the day. We're still black, you know?